Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with my weekly news and review for May 25th of 2019. And every week seems to have some interesting news. Some of it is just updated details. Some of it is brand new. But that's how it goes. And we're going to start with this bit of business. Now, I've never seen this RC before. And RC, this is called Nicey. But it's an interesting looking figure. I'm Super Ultra G1, but I think this is pretty cool, and I might even get it. And it's really weird because Show Z's got it up for pre-order, but yet it's sold out like day one. So I don't know if that's they just don't have any they're gonna get or what. But here is the alt mode, and this is more of the prototype version of the renders and stuff, but I think it looks pretty cool. I don't like the kibble on the back, and I'm wondering if there's a way you could unpin that or pop it off. I would hope that they would have made it to where they have they could pop off, because that would be so awesome. I'd just store it in the box and say forget it. But the alt mode looks pretty good, and I say aside from the front end being too stylized, it is the best looking alt mode I've seen on an RC yet. But in order to get there, they had a ridiculous amount of kibble that didn't neatly fold into a backpack. So that's what it is. This is what it is. So for any of you that like the Magic Square repaints, well, here we go with the first Transform Element repaint for a black Optimus Prime. And it's funny because we just got the whole news about the MP10 dead Optimus Prime, and I think this is a black Optimus Prime would work as your dead Optimus Prime in a dead Optimus Prime scene. But I was wondering how long it would take Transform Element to come out here and start re-releasing it. There it is. And it's interesting looking. I would think that if you do the repaints, they should be, like if you have let's say you have a Transform Element and then you do the repainted white Prime, that you would want to do them different. So maybe you do the black Transform Element, the white Magic Square, and then the red MP44. Wouldn't that look cool on a shelf? For those of you who don't know about this video, there's a video circulating around. I got it right here for you. And it's about messing with this MP44 Prime, and it's just a good looking mold. And all the crud that people gave this thing for the top of the chest, it looks like they've cleaned up the top of the torso a lot. It looks good. It looks like it's cleaned up really well. It's not as kibbly as it was before. Nowhere near as kibbly as MP36. This thing is gonna knock our socks off. I mean, people knock it for the price, and I agree. And I'm not agreeing with $450. I want a figure like this for, a 200 would be great. 250 is tops, and I'm spending $307 on mine, but it looks good. It looks cool. This is a prototype too. This isn't even production, so it does look kind of fiddly with the fact it's going to have a ridiculous amount of articulation. It's going to have it's just going to be awesome though. And then oddly enough, with the paint on it, it looks like dude's having to fiddle with it to pose it, but I bet you this thing has been fiddled with more than I don't even want to insert crazy bad joke there, but it's been filled with a lot, and that's why this thing looks so flimsy. But I guarantee you it's going to be stout when we get it, and it's going to look good, and it's going to beat out the competitors, the cheaper competitors. Note in this video too, they also show all of their plus line figures as comparison. They're trying to promote them plus lines too at the same time. So next I want to talk to you about the updated colored photos of Fans Toys, and I fought the urge to not pre-order these, and I had to drop some pre-order on those because they look so good in bot mode. And out of all the combiners, including Devastator, Superion's my favorite. The aerial bots are my favorite. I was always intrigued how the technology of the time, where the front end and the tail end came off in transformation and formed a small jet on their back. That intrigued the heck out of me. They were kind of mysterious in a way. I loved them, but I still love this. My favorite set. That's why I've got so many of them. I got so many different versions of Superion. But these look good. These look amazing. I'll probably do a separate video talking deeper about them. I'm just kind of exposing them to everybody right now. Quick look at Braun. He looks good. I would still say that like if this takes 2 years to come out, my Final Victory's holding that slot down really good. I mean, he looks good. He looks good on my shelf. That's an awesome looking Braun in my opinion. Final Victory is killing it. I don't know why people still hate on it. It just doesn't. It blows my mind that this is like 20% better than Final Victory. This isn't 10 times better. Well, the feel in hand and the quality probably will be, but not just the aesthetic alone. And there's the alt mode. There he is next to his buddy. And there's his buddy Warpath. So Warpath it looks good. I'm not a huge fan of the Bad Cube version, but a lot of people live and die by the Bad Cube version. They love it, and they're going to keep it, and they're not going to order Fans Toys. I'm questioning what the price point on these is going to be, because they're going to be the size slightly bigger, size of Spindrift, or slightly bigger, and Spindrift's $55. So if Spindrift is still on the market when these release, unsold at $55, how are they going to have the audacity to charge like $80 or $90? So maybe they'll be the $60 mark, the $50, $60, $70 max for a mini bot, $70 mark. I could see. Over that, I don't know, man. What's the price he's going to be? And put in the notes if you want to see more discussion about these things. Okay, so here's a better, closer up picture of Goose. Is it Goose? This one's Goose, right? And yeah, Air Raid. Is it Air Raid? Man, I love this Aerobots and I can't keep the name straight. But I just think it looks good. It looks phenomenal. And yes, as diehard of a Zeta collector I actually had a few extra Zeta bots. I got rid of them so that I could free up the cash to buy these. Because I was going to do a couple in bot mode, and it just makes more sense to just go in on Fans Toys, have Fans Toys in bot mode, call it a day, and there it is. Whoop, there it is. Jet mode for this guy. Looks good. I mean, this looks spot on. I wonder how hard it will be to transform this thing, especially with it being more or less a triple changer. Who knows? Next bit of business I want to talk about after all that Fans Toys stuff, and of course I do want to do a separate video talking about Fans Toys, because I don't think there's enough talking about Fans Toys in the world. But I did a video about Dinobot, and I'm not the hugest, largest, biggest collector of Beast Wars, but man, oh man, I just like that. That KO is fine. Like, there's small issues with it, but to say I saved $250 and I spent $77 on this KO, it's fine. This Infinite Transformation is coming out with theirs. It's got loose legs, loose joints. Some of the tabs don't tab together just right. Who cares? For saving $170 something, and it just stands on my shelf looking good. It hasn't fallen over. I just look at it in a dynamic pose. It looks great. Throw that pose up there for you. But the point of all this news is the official's getting reissued for $279.99, and I'm like, what? I mean, leave the 2 off. And you got what you could get the KO for. Oh man, that's just funny. I almost fell out of my chair when I saw that. It was just hilarious. $279.99. That's a price every re-release of Takara, man. Come on, guys. Why are we doing that? That's kind of funny. So next bit of business and news. I didn't talk about this last week, man. I got a couple of points I missed last week, and now it's I'm catching up. But the next Walmart exclusive one's the vote was to get Blaster, and I don't know, we're getting a very narrow group of figures to choose from. Like, come on, man. I may be the only one that doesn't want to see 16 Seeker colors made for G1 figures. All the reissues we've got, it's going to be all Seekers. No, I'm for this Blaster. I'm for a variety of figures. Let's just hit some oddities. Why not do a SharkCon or one of those things? So we're not all feeling dirty going on the internet and buying KO versions from China that we do or don't know what the quality will be or paint. And then the KO Dinobots, you know, the weapons don't fit right in Swoop, so it's an issue. But anyway, moving in a transition to a couple of Star Wars topics that I have. This picture popped up, and I thought it was funny. I guess we hear that that these guys, not just the guy in the right is going to be the Batman. I forgot his name, but he's from the Twilight movie, and it popped up. Heck no! That's hilarious. Photoshop, I guess, but that was funny. I had to throw that out there. And then moving into Star Wars, I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'll give you the dead horse news first. We've got this Jabba Palace that you could order it. It was canceled, and then it showed back up to order again, and now it's shipping in crazy ways where they even ship it out without a box. It's just got a label on it. I mean, it's insane. For collectors who want this predominantly because of the packaging, the package is getting destroyed. That doesn't make any sense. We also have a bit of barge related news to this. The barge was on eBay selling as low as like 800 plus shipping, so still about $1,000, up to about $2,000. There were 70 listings with about 47 of those were barges, something along those lines. So they're selling through, but they're still very easy to get. Like I put a video out talking about how hard it will be to get the barge, but you can still get one for under $1,000 if you're patient, or you work hard at it, or you're diligent, or you stay on top of an auction, or go through all that dilly-dally stuff. But I just don't see prices ever getting lower than where they're at now for like $1,000. In the future, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, who knows? 5 years from now, $5,000. So if you're in the market for a barge, get one. So last bit of news, as any of you Star Wars fans know, Star Wars Episode 9 is out there, coming out in December, and it's, in my opinion, it's going to redeem the sequel trilogy. I can't say that the sequel trilogy is good or great, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not horrible. It could have been worse, but this will redeem it. This will fill a lot of holes, fill a lot of gaps. With it saying Rise of Skywalker can do a lot of things, but there's also 3 more films coming. So, if you want me to do my own predictions on the Rise of Skywalker, I actually I have a prediction, lots of predictions. But the 3 new films, I'm hearing rumor, that it's coming from the Knights of the Old Republic. Now, if that's true, that would be cool. That's an area that I really don't know a whole lot about, because I don't read the books and I didn't play the games that much. I did play them a little bit, but not a whole lot. So that would be an interesting avenue to go, an interesting avenue to go down. I really think anything in the expanded universe would be great. And who says a Star Wars movie has to be canon? Who says one of these offshoots has to be canon? But anyway, like, subscribe, let me know what you think about this week's news. Hey, Jeremy, hang around.